Now the reality is settling in, and Brexit is cushioning itself into the posterior of the British backside. It's quite clear that it is not everything that Mr. Farage and his friends claimed it would be. It was, I hasten to add, only one solution to the problem that was identified in Europe. That is a certain amount of chaos and a lack of direction, which we could have sorted out, I think, and we should have sorted it out. So on Thursday, the OBR, that's the Office of Budget Responsibility, made it absolutely clear that the Brexit has been bad. It has had a negative impact. They say the latest results suggest that Brexit has had a significant adverse impact on UK trade via reducing both overall trade volumes and the number of trading relationships between UK and EU firms. Well, of course, that's not exactly true. The adverse effect has been the inadequacy of the various governments that have followed the referendum. Brexit in itself has not necessarily had that adverse effect. The way Brexit was conducted may have done. Now, I'm not advocating Brexit. I'm not saying that Brexit was a wonderful thing. I really don't think it was. But I think the OBR is overplaying its hand in that particular case when it says that. It then goes on and says that projected growth in UK exports and imports is in the near term lower than what was predicted in March this year, because of slower economic growth, lower consumption level, and reduced investment. Trade volumes are set to decline, falling to 8.3% below present levels in the final quarter of next year. And net migration to the UK will decline next year as well, but still apparently higher than the government intends. So the only thing which is going probably in the right direction is the migration issue, and that is the thing that the government is bellyaching over the most and doesn't seem to be achieving very much. But in fact, it's going to do it on its own because it's no longer going to be very attractive to come to the UK. Maybe that's what was intended all along. But certainly, I think when we look at the impact of Brexit and then we add the impact of Kwasi Kwarteng's package, I mean, there we've got a man whose disastrous impact, the disastrous unveiling of his enormous package, has had a lasting impact in this country that's gone on for over 2 months and will probably go on for much of the next year. One man's ridiculous activity and adventure. It is staggering. And I personally would credit Kwasi Kwarteng with much of our problems, with much of our downfall, rather than pin everything on Brexit. But it is surprising that Jeremy Hunt, in his budget the other day, failed to mention Brexit at any point in his hour-long speech. Simply astonishing. And even then, he also drew comparisons between us and Europe. And yet not a mention, not a whisper about Brexit itself.